boy Blackbeard Mirage, the world's greatest. What's happening? Shit turning up to another level. It's turning up to another level. You know, glad to see it. Tuned in live for another Midnight Mirage classic, of course. I'm sure you know who this is by now. It's the boy Blackbeard. I want to show y'all something real quick. Here's a fortune cookie I got. Oh, it failed. Let me get it real quick. It's a fortune cookie that I got, and I don't know if you all can read it. It says, you are often unaware of the effect you have on others. You are often unaware of the effect you have on others. And it's very, very true. You know, I'm the type of guy that basically just stays focused on what I know the objective is. I've never really been one to take my eye off of, I guess, whatever the target was or whatever the task was, and kind of, I guess, see who's been cheering for me or who's been rooting, or really what kind of effect am I having by what it is that I'm doing, by me trying to reach this certain objective. I've never really taken the time to do that. I had a brother tell me one time, actually, he said that he referred to that part of myself as a baseball player who knocks the ball out the park and doesn't really look to see if it's a home run and just kind of just starts jogging. And that's true. I don't know. It's a weird part about Blackbeard. I've always been like that. I can even remember when I first dunked in my first basketball game when I was about 14 years old. It was in an AAU game, and I can remember I dunked. It was a one hand, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I just felt kind of lightheaded after it was over. And then shortly after that, I remember it was a timeout, and I came to the sideline, and like the people in the crowd was like reacting a certain way. So I had a feeling that something happened, because I really didn't know I had did the shit. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like, and I remember my coach, he had dapped me up and he said, "Good dunk." And then I went and sat down, and then that's when I became aware that I really had did it. I don't know, man. I just be going in, man. Like, I really, really do. Like, I don't be really taking no time to look at that kind of stuff, because I just never had the time to, really, man. Once my eyes on some shit, man, it really is on that shit. So, that's kind of why I was talking like I was on that one tape about, with LeBron, and you had the other Boston players on the thumbnail. I guess on one side, I don't really be looking, to see what kind of effect I'm having. Therefore, sometimes and that's why I was saying I don't really know where this shit is going. I didn't know, but it was funny since that tape. I've been seeing a lot of people being responsive, whether it was because of that or whether it wasn't. A lot of it probably wasn't, but and then I got that fortune cookie. You know what I'm saying? So it was just interesting how that all played out, and then also too, let me just salute and shout out you brothers in the comment section that bear witness to, probably hearing some of the tapes I've been making, let's say even with the Negro Bedstenches stuff or the Negro Noose Neckers. That's a new classic terminology that the boy Blackbeard Mirage has now created. You're going to have the Negro Noose Neckers, you see. So that's going to be a new series, which basically is the Negro Bedstenches, but it's just another archetype or another form of it. Same ghetto gagging behavior, of course, but just like a synonym for a Negro Bedstenches. So you have the Negro Bedstenches would be, let's say, the primary word. So a synonym would be the Negro Noose Necker. Now, what do I mean by the Negro Noose Necker? Well, you're seeing a lot of these things of the nooses around their neck, faking these noose, hangings and stuff like that. So I figure, well, since they like nooses, then Blackbeard should give them a new name that actually pertains to the noose. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to call you Negro Ghetto Guzzlers, or you Negro Bedstenches. We're going to call y'all Negro Noose Neckers as well. Negro Noose Neckers. So, y'all can throw that out there, you know what I'm saying? Courtesy of the boy Blackbeard Mirage. So now we have the Negro Bedstenches, the Negro Nuthugger, the Negro Black Up Male, and now we have the Negro Noose Necker. All right, we're going in with this shit. Just want to drop that, you know. But yeah. Shout out to them brothers though who been in the comment section just, you know, saying that you know, at first I didn't really know where you were going with the Negro Bedstenches thing. I didn't know what your whole point was with it, but you know, I stuck it out, and now I see exactly what you were saying, brother, and basically I'm appreciative of that. So I salute you boys for that. You know, I'm rolling with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And even as the brother David Carroll say, see, I understand. You know, going down that rabbit hole, man, like that shit is frightening. You're gonna see just some wild ass, some weird ass, you know, creepy ass shit, as you all already know by now. Especially if you are a regular, you know, you know, mental, you know, participant in the Midnight Mirage. You know, it's nothing new to you, but you know, I'll admit it. You know what I'm saying? The shit is wild. Like, it's just with me, you know, a lot of that stuff, you know, I'm not really new to it because my father, you know, by the grace of God, introduced some stuff to me as a youth. So it wasn't brand new. So I didn't have a total shock. But for, you know, for some of you brothers that may be hearing this stuff for the first time, I can understand that. And that's why David Carroll even said he understands it. So, you know, and even Mr. Controversy, he understands it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, we may come hard, but you know, we do get, you know, the shit is hell. So, but it's all about, you know, are you willing to accept the reality? And are you willing to adjust and modify according to the reality? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. And even saying adjusting according to the reality kind of brings me into the promotion, dealing with the collaboration between Blackbeard Mirage and the boy Mr. Controversy himself. Tanks and Guillotines Volume 1. Tanks and Guillotines Volume 1. The collaboration real soon coming out. You know what I'm saying? So y'all look out for that shit. We're going in. You know what I'm saying? On some like DJ Paul and Juicy J type shit. Stupid volumes. You know, Blackbeard creative. My imagination is on goddamn Neptune, Uranus level. I'm coming up with all types of names and creative shit. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So Mr. Controversy, you know, goddamn, you hear this shit. You know, that's what this shit is. You know, the tank and the motherfucking guillotine. You know, and it's gonna be a lot more collaborations with this shit. You know, so y'all just stay tuned. You know, and look out for that. Okay. But we just gonna be addressing, you know, some modern things and some current things. And you know, right now, as you can see in the most recent Negro, you know, Noose Neckers, or also known as Negro Bedstenches tape. You know, I was just talking about how a lot of these covert Negro Bedstenches out here acting like they pro-black and act like they have the best interest in the mind of black men, but you know, when they start getting challenged by Negro Bedstenches, you know, other Negro Noose Neckers, Negro, you know, Nuthuggers and Negro black up males, when they start getting challenged by these people in their comment sections, you know, then they start molding and folding. You know, they start doing the achy breaky heart and shit like that, and it's like, man, come on, man, like we ain't gonna be able to goddamn win that way. That's how that shit go. Like you can have a whole mob of people, but if one person crack, then the whole shit fold. Like that's how the shit go. You know, like you can imagine, like I guess on the movie, you know, although the shit was highly exaggerated, but on the movie 300, like, you know, when the Spartans would have their shields all put together, when they would make the mega shield, you know what I'm saying? Like if one person got down slip, or one person leave kind of a crack, or one person not firm, you know what I'm saying? They right foot not forward and firm, then y'all gonna fuck up the rest of us, and then the rest of the goddamn shield gonna break and fall. So it don't go like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't go like that. We can't be having like multiple people that's claiming they on one side of the fight, but then they molding and folding every time somebody challenge them on some shit. Like we ain't gonna really be successful doing that, you know. And that's just something that needs to be, you know, looked at. It's like, you know, have y'all really ever been loyal to niggas? Like, have y'all ever really fought for niggas like that? Because I mean, let's take this back to the Negro Bedstenches Volume 1, like the first one. You know, that was when I went into the Sex and Race by J.A. Rogers. I think it was Volume 2. And it's like all through the whole damn tape, I'm giving you just prime key evidence of what was going on. These Negro Bedstenches, you know, in the so-called 17 and 1800s. You know, let's go over a story about Tawawa House, which was up in Ohio. And this basically was a resort where these Negro Bedstenches, or these Negro Noose Neckers, they were going up to the north and to these vacation resorts with the so-called pale male, and this shit was just normal. You know what I'm saying? In the same time with so-called black men in the fields fighting and working and doing all this other stuff. So it's like, have y'all really ever been loyal? You know? Let's go into some more shit. Y'all already know about the placage system in Louisiana, right? And y'all know about the different prostitution markets in the motherfucking red light district in Louisiana, don't you? Well, that was them Negro Noose Neckers down there. You know what I'm saying? Them Negro Noose Neckers down there, twirling and swirling. You know what I'm saying? With the goddamn pale males down there. You know? That's what that shit was all about. You know? Let's go into this one female who went to the White House. I think it was in the 1800s. And, you know, she went to the White House, I guess, to do some little articles and journalism. But she said when she was in there, all she saw was all the damn governmental officials or the congressional officials. They all had Negro bedwenches, Negro bedstenches. The White House was full of goddamn Negro fucking noose neckers. So it's like, well, what's that all about? So you mean to tell me that the Aboriginal men build up the goddamn so-called White House, and the motherfucking Negro fucking noose necker takes her ass in there and ghetto gas the motherfucking pale male? Okay. Shall I go to the Civil War now? When the Aboriginal men were fighting in the Gullah Wars, the various wars that were being fought in Georgia and Florida, South Carolina, along the whole, you know, East, which you all know of as a so-called Civil War, but not no whites in the North fighting whites in the South. Basically, whites in the North and South fighting against Aboriginals in the South. That's really what the shit was, you know. And at the same time, when a lot of these so-called plantations were, you know, basically busted wide open because, hell, it was a lot of war going on. So it wasn't like motherfuckers had to stay on the plantation. People could go free. They could start fighting to get their shit back. You know what I'm saying? Going in, teaming up with other Aboriginals. That's something that you had going on. You know, during this time, you had a lot of Aboriginals trying to get to Florida because of the Moorish Aboriginals down there. You know what I'm saying? Also known as the Seminoles. Well, we had the whole Fort Negro and stuff like that. Y'all saw the tape where I talked about Fort Negro and the Florida Seminole Aborigines. So during this time, a lot of the brothers and sisters who was getting off of these damn so-called plantations as prisoners of war, they were trying to get down to Florida. So a lot of them were being kidnapped and still fighting and shit like that. So while all this shit was going on, once again, these Negro Noose Neckers, these Negro Nut Guzzlers, were having open orgies with pale males in the Union Army. They said that the orgies they were having were so loud that they had the people up all night in the surrounding areas. They said that these Negro fucking noose neckers were even having sex with young boys, young pale males. So at the same time, they could have been fighting to get their nationality back, fighting to get their birthright and inheritance back, fighting to get their motherfucking dignity and integrity back. These whole motherfucking ghetto gag. Get the fuck out of here, man. So it's like, when had these hoes really ever been loyal? You see? Because what's happening is that in a minute, these black women ain't gonna have nobody speak on their side. Like, you even know how me and Mr. Controversy every now and then, you know, you even may have the brothers like us salute them and, you know, try to at least goddamn speak on behalf of the small percentage that we do know still exists and is out there. Because once again, we still ain't saying all black women are goddamn doing this shit. But it's almost like, you know, that faction really has no voice. And the faction that is using their voice, that's acting like they may be have the best interests is some so-called black males. Clearly you can see that they don't. Because like I said, when that fire get put to their foot, they goddamn mold and fold. It's no different than the motherfucking first 48. You know how on first 48 the motherfucker goddamn, you know, 12 and pulled them in the office, right? 12 say, you know, we know you were hanging around Pookie them. We know you know what was going on. So all you got to do is tell us. So bruh say, nah, I ain't telling y'all shit. I'm a real street nigga. I ain't telling y'all nothing. 12 say, okay. Well, right here, X, Y, and Z, and you know, such and such, you know, and you could be looking at 20 years yourself. So bruh sitting there. All of a sudden, all his codes, morals, and ethics, that shit go right out the window. So you know what he gonna do? He gonna look at them folks. He gonna say, he gonna start twisting his hair whether he got dreads or not. He gonna be like, man, y'all got a cigarette, man. Bro gonna sit there like, bro, y'all got a cigarette, bro. Then he gonna just be looking all like startled and shit. He gonna get the cigarette. He gonna light that motherfucker up. Next thing you know, do. Goddamn, such and such, put your ass. Next thing you know, nigga life goddamn destroyed. And that's how you Negro Noose Net. That shit really funny as hell. You motherfucking Negro goddamn Noose Neckers. That's how you all are. You all are no different than them motherfuckers on First 48 that start getting ready to snitch. And that's for that goddamn cigarette. As soon as these people start coming to y'all comment section, leaving comments you don't like, you start seeing too many dislikes. You know, you start seeing videos with people talking about you. Even though all this shit these people doing is not justified, is not right. They really are just emotional. They're using ad hominem attacks. They are basically talking about everything except the points you're bringing. You know, they're not bringing any type of fact. And really, you've done nothing wrong. Even though all that's true, you're going to decide to get off of your square and go with the crowd. That also reminds me of when I used to be in school. I can remember being in class and the teacher would, you know, ask a question. And, you know, whether I, you know, think the shit right or wrong, Blackbeard gonna raise his hand and answer it. Whether I'm right or wrong, don't really care. But you had them certain type of students who would know what the real answer is, but would be afraid that if they were wrong, they would look, you know, so-called stupid in front of everybody, right? So what they do is they hold their hand down. Now, mind you, it's multiple people in that classroom that's thinking this all at the same time. It's multiple people that all know the real right answer. But because of the hive mental slave mentality, you know what I'm saying, worshiping the golden ass, because that shit exists within them, they're going to all hold their hand down. And then when the answer finally comes out, they're going to realize that, dang, I had the right answer, but I just didn't raise my hand. So now they don't get the credit for it. You know, because the few kids that raised their hand, let's say they got an extra 20 points on their test and didn't have to come to school the next day. But you didn't get that benefit because you didn't raise your hand. You were afraid and you followed the crowd. And that's what you motherfucking Negro Noose Neckers, that's what y'all are doing. You just following the crowd. You know. And that shit just ain't gonna work for y'all, because all that's gonna do is gonna make the real niggas just drift farther away from y'all. And then y'all gonna just be more and more out there on y'all own. And you're gonna be left to get devoured by the same people that you think on your side and the same people that's teaming up with you. You're going to get left to be devoured by them same people. So it doesn't really pay to be a Negro Noose Necker. You might as well just keep it 100. That's how I am. I go against 100 people if if I know I'm right and it's 100 people that's wrong. I got to go against 100 people. That's just how that shit go. But I don't know. I've noticed men have more of an ability to stay on their square. You know, maybe it's a gender thing. Although I can't say that all women have that problem, because I've seen women that can stay on their square in the face of adversity. But I don't know. I guess it's you modern black women, like, you know. And obviously some of the older ones too. So we gonna just say it's the modern one. But I don't know, man. It's like y'all motherfuckers can't stay on y'all square for shit. Y'all don't have no type of racial integrity or racial loyalty, you know. And it's like a shout out to a brother named Dark One Son. He made a tape and he was saying that it's rare to find a so-called black woman who may be attracted and is getting attention from non-black men, but she still chooses to be loyal to so-called black men. That doesn't really happen quite often. As soon as these Negro motherfucking noose neckers see that these other men are paying them some attention, they running straight to them and they don't give a fuck about you niggas no more. And then when those men abuse them, ghetto gag them out, and leave them with the mulatto child, then they want to come back to the black up meal. That motherfucking Negro Noose Necker ain't no joke, boy. But this is what she does. This is the psychology and the behavior of the Negro Noose Necker. But me and Mr. Controversy, we're here to destroy that shit. No different than a wild ass Rottweiler or a wild ass Doberman or a wild ass pit bull will come and tear your shit up and lock on to your shit until you're just gone. So there's no more breath. Or no different than the South American anaconda that will squeeze you until all the life is gone. And that's what we're here to do. All you Negro Noose Neckers, all you Negro Bedstenches, all you Negro Nuthuggers, and you Negro Nuthuggers, and all you black up males. The rabid wild animal. That energy is gonna be here to fuck you up. Like I said before, when Blackbeard was young, and I would go through the hoods of the south side of Riverdale, and I would see the different wild dogs, the Rottweilers, and sit in the street. I used to want to have the same power as them dogs. I used to be like, man, I want the same power as them damn Rottweilers. You know, and when I would walk past them and as a little boy, and they would make me goddamn be scared to walk in the yard. You know, I ain't want to get nowhere near the dog, but at the same time, I had a certain level of respect. Because I saw like, damn, that shit's powerful. And I wanted that same power. You know, and that's what y'all motherfuckers dealing with, the power and the fear that a savage ass, wild ass dog has. To where when you see that motherfucker, you getting straight out the way. You know. So you Negro Noose Neckers, you know, y'all done made y'all decision. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done made y'all decision, obviously. You know. But this the promo tape, you know what I'm saying? Boy, Blackbeard, Mr. Controversy. Collaboration coming real soon. You know what I'm saying? Tanks and Guillotines Volume 1. Y'all definitely be on the lookout for that, man. You know, just trying to make some creative shit. You know, the people who are rocking with this shit, and that's, you know, keeping 100. You know, whether it's one or two of y'all, you know, we rocking with y'all the long way and the strong way. So, you know, folks just got to keep it 100. That's all things are about, man. Just keeping it 100. And staying on your own code, you know, and just being you, being the real you, you know. You don't have to amalgamate, and you don't have to kiss the ass of people that, you know what I'm saying, you don't really fuck with just because you see it's more of them than it is you. You don't have to do that shit, you know. If y'all, you know, y'all want to make videos and stuff y'all selves, and, you know, in the future, don't get discouraged just because you see ain't nobody watching your shit, or you see that it's dislikes, or you see it's bad comments. Don't get discouraged by that, because there may be some people that just, the shit really ain't even for. You know, y'all wanna know some real shit. The first tape I ever made on YouTube, and the first comment I got, a nigga said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" That was the first comment I ever got on YouTube. A nigga was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" That was the first comment I ever got. You know, and here I am to this day. Like, how the hell I look letting that shit would make me feel like, oh man, like them people goddamn gonna laugh at my shit, or I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's more so what it is. Like, I ain't necessarily saying you gotta go make a tape, but you know, it's just like, don't be like these goddamn Negro Noose Neckers. Like, you don't have to goddamn fold to people just because you see that they mobbing up on you. Like, you mob back up on their ass. That's just how that go, you know. But this is some promo shit, man. You know, y'all look out for that classic, you know, by me and the boy Mr. Controversy. He's coming real soon. Y'all stay tuned. You know, one love to all the people. I'm out.